Well, Coframe helps businesses optimize their conversion and revenue from their businesses by running tests on their website. So we'll generate and run these experiments on the site to try to figure out what converts best. We're able to achieve significant conversion lifts for our customers because of the velocity at which we're able to test things, because it's a fundamentally different way of doing it that's kind of powered by AI. Previous to Coframe, I founded two companies. The first one, Access Bell, we ended up selling to Tata Group, which is a large conglomerate, international conglomerate. And the second one, Autograph, I co-founded this with Tom Brady, and we scaled it from zero to over $2 billion in valuation over the course of a couple of years. Amazing journey and ride there. And now I'm working on Coframe. Well, it's really about getting the word out there about Coframe specifically. I want more people to kind of like know what's possible and have an authentic kind of like platform where I can just share about all the cool stuff that we're building and doing for our customers so that people can discover us. I think it's like one of those things where the more people know about it, the better, because it's just a fundamentally better and new way of doing things. And what better way than to like for authenticity than to have like a authentic conversation with someone about it. You guys have taken care of everything. It was super smooth. General overall experience has been really positive. Some of these podcast hosts that have been great relationships to have. There was actually someone who we were doing a deal with, like a very large, well-known consumer electronics company, and this this person, she had actually worked with this company uh, while at Accenture, was able to share some insights about what it's like to do a similar type of deal with them, and we were able to talk about that. So that was really interesting. It remains to be seen like which people from a leads perspective come from the podcasts themselves. I don't ask every time like where people find us and how people come to us. I haven't heard anyone specifically say, "Oh, I heard you on this podcast" yet. But also, I think it takes some time for the podcast to get out, and then they get listened to over the course of longer period of time. So I think that working with you is probably the best way to do it if they're at all interested. It's a great way to just like not have to worry about the hassle of figuring out which ones are going to be a good fit. You really just want to like try a couple of them to see how you like it. I think like being on a podcast and talking through and doing one is a really good way to figure out, do I enjoy this and should I do more of it? And if you don't enjoy it, then there's that. But you probably don't know if you enjoy it until you try it. So it's something that is like worth testing. The whole process has generally been pretty smooth. Like, it's just like an email introduction, and they book time or I book time on their calendar. We just have a meeting and do the podcast. I guess it was surprising how little you're just on there. Like sometimes it's like the first call is the podcast without even knowing the person. You can just jump right on. I don't know if it'd be reasonable to expect any more than that, but it was kind of surprising how fast you can kind of just get into it and suddenly you've done the podcast.